Dr. Waller, good morning to you. Thank you for your time. We're going to talk about the festival in just a moment, though, but essentially we need to talk about the conservation status and the population decline. I would like to refer to this as happy feet in a hostile world, isn't it? There's an issue in keeping these animals safe.
Yes, absolutely. Globally, we've got 18 species of penguin, and more than half of them are listed with concerning conservation status by the IUCN. And most of these declines have happened in the last 60 years. So really, they are happy feet in a hostile world.
Let's talk about our little population down in Simonstown, where normally every year we would bring live visuals of people coming out to celebrate. There might even be a little penguin who's released back into the wild. It's all being done differently now. Let's talk about our African penguins in Simonstown. How are our numbers looking? What can we expect today?
So the African penguin in Simonstown are not doing too badly. Their numbers are relatively stable, although they do fluctuate. But at a species level, the African penguin is an absolute crisis. They've lost more than 95% of their population, and scientific evidence suggests that within the next 15 years, certainly on the West Coast, we could see functional extinction of the species. And we're incredibly concerned about the population on the East Coast as well.
Why is that, Doctor? What's happening?
It's a range of impacts that have essentially combined to make a perfect storm. But the biggest driver now is really a lack of food availability. And this is mediated through various ways. So climate change, is happening. It impacts the sea surface temperatures. It changes the currents, which has an impact on fish recruitment. And for the African penguin, that's sardine and anchovy. And that it also has resulted in a change in the distribution of their food. And so it puts it outside of their foraging range. When they breed, they need to breed really close to their colony so that they can go out, get their food, and bring it back for their chicks. And so that has an enormous impact on the birds. And then it does also, there's competition with commercial fisheries as well, which does have an impact. And then marine pollution, oil pollution. We've had some issues with disease lately, predation. And so in a healthy population, most of these impacts could be dealt with, but in such a small population, these impacts are having a massive impact on the birds.
Dr. Waller, and all of this is not going to change necessarily overnight, the kind of support you get, but something like African Penguin Awareness Day, it's being, I imagine, live streamed to your Facebook page, Sankob, a little bit later this morning. It's 10 a.m., I understand. Tell us what we can expect and how people can support this. These animals clearly need our help, and the joys of technology, you can watch wherever you are and still support you, your organization, and the animals. Tell me about this.
Thanks, Gareth. It's very difficult not to be overwhelmed by the number of environmental issues. And so just thank you to ENCA for creating awareness, because that's what we need. You will see some of the birds that have been rescued and rehabilitated at our centre. And they are in boxes, and they slowly get tipped out, and you'll see them go out to sea. And so that's what you'll be seeing, and I think just creating awareness, using a day like World Penguin Awareness Day, having ENCA, take that as an important initiative. We need people to get actively involved in conservation. It's not only for the conservation authorities and organizations. On a day like today, you need to say, okay, what decision can I make to improve the life of a bird? Do I need to use this piece of plastic? And make that change. We've got 60 million people in our country. One or two people, you think, what difference can I make? But 60 million decisions can make a big difference. And that's really what we want to try and use these awareness days to get people focused and energized, and also and hope. There is time to change, not much. We are running out of time, but there still is time. And so we really are looking to people to actively engage, look at your lifestyle, and make that one change. Once you've got that down, move on to the next thing. Support organizations such as SANCOB. COVID has done a disaster for conservation authorities and organizations. Can you support financially? Can you support in kind by assisting with equipment? Are you an investor? Make some good decisions about investing or disinvesting in companies that are not engaging in environmental sustainable practices. We need to support these birds on every possible front. And
it's incredibly important, Dr. Waller. You're absolutely correct. And just before I say goodbye to you, I'm going to say thank you. I just want to remind viewers, 10 o'clock this morning on SANCOB's Facebook page, live, you'll be able to see these African penguins on African Penguin Awareness Day. You can also adopt and name a penguin as well. It's a fun way of doing it. Dr. Lauren Waller, I'm going to say thank you to you for speaking to us this morning from SANCOB.